Well, we may not be winning as much as we would like, but we're still winning where it counts. Still alive in all four competitions, charging towards a European place in the Premier League. We have made the knockouts of the Champions League with one match left to go. Unfortunately, that automatic bye to the round of 16 has eluded our grasp, and we have reached the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. We are in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. Life is good. And welcome back, everybody, to episode number 99 of Bottom to the Top. I hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. We are in the top 7 of the Premier League. We are in the top 24 of the Champions League. And we are awaiting our next opponent in the FA Cup. And in today's episode, we are going to be taking on Liverpool at Anfield in the second leg of the Carabao Cup semi-finals. Things going decently well for us in the league, although we still have more draws than we have wins. In fact, we have fewer wins than, well, honestly, more than half of the league. Only 8 victories so far in the season, but on the back of 11 draws. On top of that, we are sitting on 35 points after 22 matches. Should we be in a better position? Absolutely. Is it disappointing that we are 16 points off of the top of the table behind Man United? You betcha. Of course, Man U still has not lost. I was incorrect when I made that announcement in yesterday's episode. Their loss to Arsenal was in the Cup and not the league. We do have Spurs coming up in between the two matches we are going to be showing you today. We have Porto in the Champions League, and we have the second leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final against Liverpool, as I've already mentioned. How have we gotten here? Well, we've already talked about the 4-1 victory in the first leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final. Only one match has been played since we last saw each other. We advanced to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup by beating Brentford 1-0. Yes, in the rain at Brentford Community Stadium. It was a 79th minute goal by Nikolai Rumyantsev that was the difference. And frankly, it was a masterful play off a set piece. Getting the throw in, Shokos for Ghanayem, Gomer throwing it forward, Rumyantsev taking it on the bounce and putting it past Cox. And that was the lone tally of the match. But as you can see, it was all we needed. Plenty of opportunities, though. 16 shots, only 4 of them on target. We have some trouble keeping the ball down and on the goal when it's nasty out. Hopefully that's not the case as we take on FC Porto in our final match in the league phase of the Champions League. They are one spot ahead of us. We're in 18th. They're in 17th. Same number of points. No difference in number of goals in the goal difference. The only difference between the two sides is, well, alphabetical. And only one major change in the lineup to take on Porto. Kim Young-suk is going to come in at the base of the midfield. Alphonse Gomer serving out a suspension for a red card picked up in the last match. It's going to be Nicolas Shvlina in goal, a back four of Christensen, Sosa, Ghanayem, and Couchman. Kim Young-suk, as we already mentioned, sitting behind Hugo Larsson and Tom Burford. Federico Guerrero is going to be on the left, Eftisis Shokos on the right, and up the middle, Nikolai Rumyantsev. And frankly, it's not an understatement to say that Rumyantsev has taken advantage of as many possibilities, as many options or opportunities. That's the word I'm looking for. As many opportunities as he possibly has been able to, with double-digit goals in all competitions, leading all Fulham players. And hopefully we can get something done against FC Porto coming into this match in excellent form, having won their last 5 matches. But the momentum of the match at Craven Cottage is being controlled by Fulham in the early going. But the first highlight we're going to see is a throw-in for Porto. Katau with it over for Cunha. Now we are going to put some pressure on. We do have that high defensive back line. Porto remaining in control in the middle third. Play it ahead for Setur Romane. Carrying it up that far sideline, looking to make a cross. He does. Shvlina comes out and challenges, and this time, unlike the Barcelona match, he does not make a mistake there. He's able to grab it out of the air and keep it off the head of the Porto attacker. Ghanayem up for Couchman, playing it up the sideline. Sokos sending it toward Larsson, but intercepted by FC Porto. Picado back for Katau. Ahead for Rodriguez. Klein moving past one man. He's in, and he will beat Shvlina on the short side. Mike Klein with his second goal in all competitions to give FC Porto the 1-0 lead on the road, and it looks like their solid form is continuing. Klein used the referee kind of as a bit of a screen on that one. And unfortunately, Christian Sosa not able to get back in time to get himself in front of the attacker. Klein able to put it home. 2 shots on goal for either side, but Porto finding themselves on the better side of the score. And I kind of really love the color of those kits. I wish I had one. Not the Portuguese kit that I'm wearing now, which is Sporting Braga. Just got that from Mystery Jersey King. Not an ad, not paid for. I pay for the subscription, but I absolutely love it. They have given me some fantastic kits over the last couple of months with my subscription with them. Again, not an ad, just talking about a service that I enjoy and partake in. Burford carrying it ahead. The counterattack is on. Rumyancev with it. Has a lot of Porto players around him, so he'll lay it back to Kim Young-suk. Ahead for Hugo Larsson. Larsson for Rumyancev from range, and Ngidi is able to get his hands on that and steer that one safely behind the touchline. A corner for Christensen. 28 minutes have been played. Ghanayem can't get his head on it. It will be played out safely, and Porto able to mute any potential threat from this Fulham side. Not a whole lot going on in the XG battle, but Porto seems to be in control of this match. Savio with it at the edge of our third, plays it for Cunha, dropped back for Sandro. Sandro shooting from distance. Shavlina has to get his hands on that one to keep it away. There was a ton of players in between, so he didn't see that until the very last moment. Savio to deliver the corner, headed on by Rodriguez. Shavlina with an absolutely fantastic save. Our defense and our goalkeeping has been absolutely wonderful this year, which is what has been keeping us in these matches. Obviously, we haven't won nearly as much as we would like, but we haven't really lost a ton either. Only 3 losses in the league so far out of 22 matches, and that is pretty darn good. We do find ourselves, though, on the losing end of this score through 45 minutes. Porto with a 5-4 lead in shots on goal. We do have the possession battle won. Obviously, their XG is beating us, and they are beating us on the scoreboard by a score of 1-0. And hopefully we can rile up the team and get things going well for us in this second half. Our attacking players just really not getting the job done. Let's see if we can do it in this final third throw. In Christensen, Ghanayem getting it for Burford, back for Ghanayem. Sosa, Christensen at the corner of the box will lay it back. Couchman, Christensen floating it towards Sokos. He's not really going to be able to pick out the 5'3" man, but Larsson is able to get the ball on the edge of the box, carry it deep, and score his second of the year to equalize this one at 1. What a play by Hugo Larsson. Couchman got it started. Christensen floating over the cross. Catal only cleared it as far as Larsson. Larsson able to carry it in deep along that right side. Beat Ngidi for his second goal of the year. Now, the result of this match only really will determine where we may or may not be seated as we head into the knockout rounds. In the interim after the Barca match, because of results elsewhere, our fate was determined, and we found ourselves 4 points out of that top 8. So no matter what we did, there was absolutely no way we were going to go automatically through to the round of 16. We are going to need to get there the old-fashioned way. Kim Young-suk in control, dropping it back for Shavlina, who will look to restart. Playing it toward the near sideline. Christensen lays it for Sosa. Moving it to his right. Ghanayem with it now. A high line being played now by Porto. Larsson, Sokos, quick pass over to Rumyancev, triple teamed and taken away. Cunha in control, but his pass is going to be intercepted by Couchman along that far side. Couchman taken down by Sandro. It's going to be a foul, and Sandro is going to be sent off with a red card. So Porto going down to 10 men, giving us a chance. Sokos on the throw-in, back for Burford. He picks out Ghanayem deep, back for Burford in the middle. Sokos is going to redirect it in. I think it went off of the foot of Cunha, and it did. Francisco Cunha will be credited with the own goal, but more importantly, Fulham taking the 2-1 lead. I thought that Efthys Sokos was going to get credit for this goal. As we check the replay, played in, and I guess Shokos did not make contact. Cunha instead redirecting the pass in from Tom Burford. Federico Guerrero will come out. Wilfried Yanto is going to make an appearance in this match. We're also going to bring out Christian Sosa. Will be replaced by we're keeping Eduardo D'Amico on the bench. He is unhappy with us. He wanted more playing time. He wanted to go out on a loan. We said no. And Jordan Muhammad will come in as well. So he became unhappy. A couple of players are actually in vocal support of us. Nobody supports him. So I am very happy to keep him on the periphery, and I think for the knockout rounds, he's probably going to be on the outside looking in as we set our squad. Nice save made. Rumyantsev, though, cannot control the rebound, and Porto is going to take it up. 11-6 your shots on goal in favor of Fulham, and we now are in control of this match by a score of 2-1 with just a couple of minutes left in regulation. 5 to be added on, and hopefully not a lot happens between now and then. With 1 minute remaining on the clock, it becomes 2. The final whistle has been sounded. Fulham survives 2-1. We're moving on to the knockouts. Hopefully, this will bump us up the table enough to give us a very favorable matchup. Well, the Football Lords giveth and the Football Lords taketh away. We followed up our win in the Champions League over FC Porto with a 2-0 loss across town against Spurs at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Ben Sutherland and Gregor Muirhead, that guy we tried to sign all those years ago, scoring goals in the first half, and Tottenham never looked back. We only managed 6 shots, even though we did control possession once again. We do need to do better at Anfield. That's coming up in a couple of days. We do have the transfer window slamming shut in a little over 48 hours. Now, we have made one move, and that is sending Ivan Fresneda, our backup right back, a very good player, but also 29 years old and behind Luke Couchman, who is 6 years his junior and developing into quite a fine player himself, who also wants a new contract. So we needed to get a little bit of money off the books. We did this one simply to help balance the coffers and put some money in the bank. 53 million in cold hard cash could raise to 72 million by the time it's done. But Ivan Fresneda is headed to Barcelona. Hopefully this one doesn't bite us in the butt if we happen to meet up with Barca in the Champions League later on. And the schedule for the knockouts hasn't been released yet, so no, that's not any kind of foreshadowing. Also heading out the door is 23-year-old Japanese-American dual national Teta Kishida. No appearances for either country as a senior player, did cap at the U20 level. We had him in just to see if he would develop, and he turned out he's okay, but he's not fantastic. $210,000 to go back to the United States, to Atlanta United. Also heading out the door, staying in England, though, going to the lower levels of the English pyramid. Rotherham has signed Lewis Wallace for $375,000. Again, not a major deal and not a major loss. We've also made one pickup, Riccardo Michiche out of Italy. We got him from Inter for $215,000. We'll see if he develops into anything. If not, he could just be a piece that we move on. Currently, his value is around $10 million or so. So already not a bad investment for the 20-year-old. And we've literally just pulled the trigger on the deal to send American 23-year-old, again, no international cap, so he really hasn't developed the way that we hoped. Diego Torres is on his way out the door. Austin FC going to be signing him for $300,000. Again, we got him on a free, so pure profit, but he had no future here at Fulham. Well, I can't tell if this is fortunate or not. The draw for the Champions League knockout has happened. Actually, it's currently in progress still, and we are going to be taking on FC Porto, the team we just beat 2-1. Hopefully we can repeat that feat 2 more times. And that match is coming up very soon, at least the first leg. The second leg has not yet been scheduled, which is a little odd if you ask me. We are starting off in Portugal. So hopefully we can pull out a win just like we did at Craven Cottage on February the 8th. We are going to have to do it without the services of Khaled Ghanayem, who picked up a yellow card in the last Porto match, which means he's suspended for this Porto match. And while we're not looking to make any major splashes, there are still moves happening for Fulham here on deadline day. We picked up 18-year-old midfielder Fabrice Joubert. We got him from Benfica. He's a French-Portuguese dual national. He's capped at the U23 level. Not yet gotten that senior cap, but we expect it to just be a matter of time. A bit diminutive, so not really great in the air, but his passing ability is fantastic. But I'm going to work a little bit on his defensive side as far as his positioning is concerned, as well as the marking and tackling to make him a serviceable member of our team. But he could become quite an important player for Fulham as the years roll on. So ultimately, we decide to, for the most part, stand pat in the transfer window, and Liverpool stands between us and the final of the Carabao Cup. We're going to make some changes, primarily because we have a number of players who are on one yellow card away from being suspended, and we would rather have them around for the final if necessary. So Kim Seon-il is going to get the start in goal. It's going to be a back four of Harvey Vale, Christian Sosa, Khaled Ghanayem, and Armand Diaby. Gomer is going to be at the base of the midfield behind Kim Young-suk and Hugo Larsson. It's going to be Guerrero and Sokos on the wings, and Daniel Heinz getting the start at striker. We're giving Nikolai Rumyantsev just a little bit of a breather for now, but we'll probably see him later on in the match, especially if we are, not winning. Liverpool may be favored to win this particular leg. They are at home after all. However, we have bested the Reds in our last 3 meetings, winning all of them by at least 3 goals. And Guerrero is going to intercept that one. Gomer will play it up for Larsson. Larsson pushing it forward, swept away by Szoboszlai. But Larsson able to get it back along the sideline, throwing it in the middle. Finds Kim Young-suk, who rockets a shot just wide. 4-1 on aggregate we are right now. So even if we don't win the match outright, we should be in good position to move along, as Van de Blok, someone we, if you remember, tried to sign not this past season but the year before, still on this Liverpool side, missing with the header off of the corner kick. Will he get another opportunity? Szoboszlai to deliver from the far side, looking for Kulo. Larsson, Heinz, pots it away. Szoboszlai, Arda Güler over to Doak, and Doak will have that ball tipped over by Kim Seon-il. So another corner opportunity. 26.5 minutes in. Arda Güler into the middle. Headed on once again by Van de Blok. This one is going to pop on over the goal. No harm, no foul. But the majority of the shots and the match momentum so far is in favor of Liverpool. Now Tobin looking to start it ahead. Szoboszlai feeding it wide. Travis Sokos is going to pick his pocket. Gomer with it. Larsson, he's got a man on him. Joined, so the double team is on, but he gets it free to Ghanayem. Back for Kim Seon-il. Sosa playing it to the near side to Harvey Vale, wearing the captain's armband. Ahead for Guerrero. In the middle, Gomer. Back for Harvey Vale. Gomer, again, working as that pivot. Guerrero, Kim Young-suk into the middle. He's got Heinz. He'll spin it to Larsson, playing it ahead. Kim Young-suk in behind the defense, will chip it on, and he will miss. Now, the rain, as you see, is coming down, so we are once again going to tick down the tempo. We're going to try to work the ball into the box. We should probably consider making this our default tactical setup. It does seem to work pretty well in the bad weather. Ghanayem almost connecting with that header. It's just going to make its way wide of the post. A great opportunity to put Fulham ahead 1-0 and put this tie completely out of reach. The first half is in the books. 76 shots on goal. We have enjoyed 58% of the possession. We're leading the XG battle. Both teams with 3 shots on target. David Heinz did pick up a booking in the 15th minute, and with 45 minutes to go, we have maintained our 3-goal lead. So we're going to tell the team how happy we are with the way we have possessed the ball tonight. Doak is off. Habila is on. Larsson carrying it forward. He does have space as he moves it to his right. He's going to take it deeper, about 20 yards out. Sokos for Diaby into the middle. Guillermo Augusto clearing it. Goemer for Larson. Back for Goemer. He's got Heinz. Heinz turns, fires, and it is going to rocket wide out of the reach of Tobin. Another perfect opportunity. Maybe a bit of a low percentage shot for Heinz as he had to kind of turn around and blindly shoot that one on goal. There is another match going on right now in the EFL Cup. It is Arsenal leading Man U by a score of 1-0. Guerrero, on the volley. His 8th goal of the year to put Fulham up 1-0 on the evening, 5-1 on aggregate. Heinz delivering the corner. Ghanayem tried to get there. It was cleared, kind of, but only as far as Guerrero from about 10 yards out, rocketing it home and putting Fulham up 1-0. Now, Guerrero is going to come out of this match because he is tired, and we do not want to risk him. Wilfred Yanto is coming in. David Heinz will cede position to Nikolai Rumyantsev, and those will be our 2 changes with about 20 minutes remaining in this match. I think Goemer is probably going to come out as well. We'll see what happens on this play. Travis throwing it in, getting it back from Habila. Sokos almost picking it off the foot of Travis. Travis, though, able to get it back in the middle. Lewis. Elon with the shot from just outside the box. It's going to miss everything wide. Kim Seon-il dove and did not need to make a play. Filippo Bufano coming in as we give Goemer a bit of a rest. Hugo Larson also feeling a little bit tired, so with 10 minutes left, he will come out in place of Josh Sharp. So we brought on players who are not in that yellow card trouble for the final. So that means Tom Burford is going to be perfectly fine to play. It means Sissoko is going to be perfectly fine to play should we need him to. 5 minutes added on. Arda Güler with the drive from a dangerous position, but not dangerous enough. It's going to miss the target well wide and go out into the stands. 12-10, your shots on goal. Liverpool trailing in every single conceivable category, especially the one that's most important. Fulham 1, Liverpool 0. We win the tie on aggregate 5-1, and we are going to the finals of the Carabao Cup. And of course, because Football Manager has a wicked sense of humor, we're going up against the team that we had to beat in the final for the FA Cup 2 years ago. It seems like every year we take them on in a cup competition. This one no different. It's Arsenal and Fulham at Wembley in less than 3 weeks for a chance to make it to the Europa League. And we may need it to keep our European hopes alive. 15 matches remain in the Premier League season. We are currently on the outside looking in of the European places. Tomorrow is our 100th episode of Bottom to the Top, and it's going to be a supersized one. We're going to have both legs of the Champions League knockouts against FC Porto, and we're going to wrap it up with the Carabao Cup final at Wembley Stadium against Arsenal. I do hope to see you then. Please make sure you like this video. Whether you actually liked it or not, just hit the button, please. Also, make sure you subscribe if you have not done so already. And I will see you tomorrow for episode number 100 of Bottom to the Top. Until then, bye-bye.